We're Brian and Crystal. For almost a year, we've been living full-time in our self-converted Dodge ProMaster van, Beatrice the White Whale. Before we started our van build, we knew we needed space to work on our laptops, room for our adventure gear, and clothing for different seasons, plenty of storage for our herbs and self-care items, and lots of room so we could cook delicious meals on the road. With all this in mind, we built out a home that is filled with space-saving ideas, and now we're excited to share them with you. What's up, everybody? After we posted our van tour video, we got a lot of comments from those of you that have watched the video about how you liked a lot of the space-saving ideas that we have. So today, that's exactly what we're going to be going over in a little bit more detail. And also, we didn't share some of the other space savers that we have in the van. And we also wanted to help you with your van build and things you really need to think about when you're building out a van. So anyways, let's dive into the space-saving ideas and tips that we have for you all. Let's get inside.
Let's go.
These sweet babies, these pillows, are not just nice to look at. What they are is extra storage. So if you open these up, in all our pillows, you will find extra clothes. And also too, just a little tip, if you are going to use pillows, make sure to use pillows that are a little bit thicker. That's one of the reasons we got Turkish pillows, is because the fabric is so thick. However, the zippers that came with them were pretty fragile and they broke. So what we did is we had marine grade zippers put on these babies so that they wouldn't break. They're awesome. But we also use them for couch mode. Prop up on the couch and watch Netflix or do whatever we want. In our cabinets is where we keep our clothes. Pretty obvious choice. However, one of the ways we keep them super organized and so we can actually pack more in is by using compression bags. These babies are amazing. We'll put, of course, some links in the description below so you can see which ones that we found worked really well. But these compression bags save a ton of room because you basically put it in, zip it down, and makes it more compact. While I'm up here, I might as well also show you another little space-saving trick. We put the shelving inside of our cabinets. This helps keep things a little more organized as well. So this actually saves room because we can actually really stuff more things. I know it seems like it may not, but we noticed in a van, when you're just trying to stack stuff on top of each other, it doesn't really work very well, not even with bags like this. So we put these in so that we could keep it more organized and actually fit more in. So as you're designing your cabinetry, think about what you're actually going to put inside your cabinets rather than making something that's just going to be beautiful, which is awesome. You want to make sure they're functional above everything else. And that means really designing to the specs of everything that you think you are going to put into your van. So what we did to save space is we designed shelvings also within the kitchen. This shelving allowed us to stack a lot easier versus just getting some boxes from like Target or the Container Store or something like that, because those won't always stack so well. So what we did is just put in shelving. You can kind of see, for instance, I have my mason jars here. These were made to the exact spec because I knew I was gonna have some pill bottles up here, some other smaller mason jars. So we included this so we actually have more space. So remember that when you're designing your cabinets, is design it to spec, and you can make room of each little nook and cranny.
In case you don't know Crystal, she cooks a lot and she loves her spices and her herbs.
I do.
And we made sure that we had room for all those spices, and we had an empty space underneath this cabinet. And so instead of having a bunch of herbs and spices laying around somewhere and taking up space in the cabinet, we put them under the cabinet, screwed on the lid, and then screwed them on here. And we could fit 34 jars of spices on here. That's how many are in here. So great space saver. Okay, moving along to the kitchen counter. We knew we were going to have a big enough counter the way it was, but we wanted to have a space behind the counter, like in between the window and the counter. So we made a trough and to secure anything that we put in there. So it's a space saver and a time saver because anything that goes in here is automatically secure. It's not going to fall or move around or anything. So we put a lot of fruit and vegetables that don't need to be refrigerated or can't fit in the refrigerator. They come up here. And we have our soap and sponge and what other random things we can throw up here. So another feature with the kitchen counter is we cut out this area to have the undermounted sink, and we used this piece that cut out for, this is our cutting board. We had nothing else. This is our only cutting board. And we can put it over here and use it. Now we have access to the sink. And when we're not doing anything, we can put it back and have maximum amount of counter space for whatever it is we want to do.
Now we have bonus tips for when you design your van build. So you might have wondered why we didn't turn our bed into a workspace. We've seen a lot of people do that. It looks beautiful. It's such a great idea. And for some people, it's an absolutely incredible idea. But we just wanted to put it out there for those of you that are, this is your first van build. You've never lived in a van or another vehicle before. Is that we've heard from some people that live in vans that when they have the workspace that then turns into like it's a couch, it's a workspace, and then it turns into their bed at night, is that most of them actually just leave it as a bed during the day because they just don't feel like putting it back together, which is totally fine. That works for a lot of people. If you're not the type of person that makes your bed every day, gets up early, and is timely with those things, something to think about that might not be for you, because we've just heard from a lot of different people, they never end up putting it back together and they just keep it in bed mode all day long and you lose all that space. So something to think about when you're building out your van.
When you're planning your builds, you got to think about where your blank spaces are on your walls and what you're going to do with them. Some people like to throw some hooks on there and just hang stuff, or just like an afterthought, like work on it later. But we feel like it's more efficient and smarter to design your shelving as you're building it. So we have 3 different places in the van where we have recessed shelving, and this is the first one where we had it pushed in, and we can have books in here or laptops. We have room to hang some keys. It just adds a little extra space. I just can't believe I'm talking about all these sections that you thought of. So it's like all your ideas, but I mean, I gotta say something in this video.
So I took a year designing this build. I Pinterested my little heart out and I watched every single van build. And I was like, I'm gonna make the ultimate functional van build. I think I did pretty good.
Where did I leave off? Oh, number 2, recessed shelving. When you're in the shower, when you're designing a shower, you gotta think about where's all this stuff gonna go? Is you gonna put it somewhere else? Or are you gonna just leave it on the floor? Or get some kind of suction cup thing that's going to take up more real estate inside your shower. We decided
and possibly fall down while you're driving.
Possibly fall down while you're driving, yeah. So we decided to just restuff the shelves in here and put some brackets on there so nothing will fall out. Easy access to get in and out.
That was a great idea. This is part 3 of our recessed shelving. So what I did here is I knew I want a cup of tea like every morning. I want my lemon water every morning. We did a custom cup holder. I picked the tea mug that I knew I was gonna bring with us, and we built this so that I would have plenty of room to take it in and out, and so it would fit perfectly. Then I have this little cubby up here because I might want to, put on lotion or something like that. And then up here is my extra bookshelf because in case you can't tell, I love books, so I wanted books. Another thing was my jewelry. So I do have a jewelry cabinet in here, which is hidden. So really start to think about like your nooks and your crannies and where you can start to put stuff. Even if it's just a little slot and you're not sure what you're gonna put in there, it will come in handy later because you'll be like, where are my pens gonna go? I don't know. So remember to think about your recessed shelving as you're doing it. It's really not too complicated or too hard to do either.
Just want to take a quick time out and notice this view that we're filming in. We're in the Grand Tetons. If you haven't watched our Grand Tetons video, go check that out. But look at this view, it's amazing.
One of our best space-saving ideas is this whole section, but specifically right now, we're gonna talk about this makeup vanity. So this is our table that we work on, but we thought, well, we have this extra space, why not make it into a table that actually opens up. Now, even if you don't wear makeup, I think this would be an incredible idea if you have kids, where you could put art supplies, where you could put anything else that you need in here. Or you, instead of like, if you didn't want to do the recessed shelving, what you could do is put your first aid kit, your toothbrush, your face wash, your soap, all those different things in here. So I think this is a great idea even if it's not for makeup. But for me, this was like ultimate. I have my hair stuff in here. I have just all my different self-care supplies. So that could also be another thing you have in here. Just think about like the table. You have that extra room underneath. Like think about how you can use it. So you can be creative with it, but I really like it as my makeup vanity.
So as Crystal's mentioned, this is not only a table and a vanity, it's also the middle section of our couch. This will drop down and we put a cushion on it and it becomes a couch. So when you're thinking about designing these places, you got to think about all the different functionalities you can make in one little space. And for this area, it's our table where we eat here, we work here. We can put it in couch mode. We can actually turn it into a bed as well. This space is very multifunctional. Our next space saver is in the shower. Again, you might not think it is a space saver, but it kind of is. We have a clothesline right here. And where are you gonna hang your wet towels? Like when you're swimming or after you're showering, put them right in here. If you have something wet in the rain, you can just hang it here. It's a wet room basically and a shower. So you can hang our stuff in here, close it up, and you don't even know it's there. So if some of you are like us, you have big problems. Our big problem is someone has too many shoes. And so what we did to solve that was, well, Crystal ordered these baskets on Etsy?
Yeah.
Yeah. We custom ordered the length of these based on when the door's shut. They can close easily. These are maxed out. We have tons of shoes. I'm embarrassed to say how many pairs.
Oh, it is not that bad. So something else to think about when you're doing your van build is your garage space. How you're going to utilize the garage is probably going to be different, like in the actuality of it versus the expectation of it. Something to think about when you build out your van is if you're going to put shelving or things like that in, you might lose space in the long run because your needs change over time. So I would just suggest not putting anything in too permanently into your back garage area until you know for sure how you live on the road.
Okay. Well, I think that just about wraps up all of our space saving ideas. I can't think of any other ones that we have.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up. If you all have any questions about what we went over, please leave a question in the comments below. And also, we've been thinking about doing a video on our makeup vanity, workstation, couch, bed area, and really giving exact tips on how we built that and showing you the nitty-gritty of what that looks like. Please do let us know. We're only going to make that video if that's something that really interests you. If that is, just leave a comment below.
Yeah, if you found this video helpful, please give us a like and subscribe to be notified of our weekly videos. And we will see you
next Sunday. Yeah, stay adventurous, everybody. Bye.
Bye.